If a game clocks your vampire at 100 kilometers per hour and hands out a dung medal for your first finish, are you intrigued or insulted? That's the Bloodthief question in one sentence. If you're wired for speed, routing, resets, shaving 2 seconds with a cleaner slide, you're going to feel seen. If you like a little world building with your motion, or you want combat to evolve past press hit fast, this will test your patience. Context first. Bloodthief is the debut from solo dev Blargis and a small crew on PC with a throwback aesthetic, dark medieval textures, chunky models, zero, follow the yellow paint hand holding. The pitch is ultra-fast melee dungeon running, 30 plus handcrafted levels plus a pure sandbox to lab tricks. You're a vampire, blood is both your health and your fuel. Spend it to slide on anything, dash across cavern gaps, ground pound into momentum and chain a flow state. Run dry and you're one tap from the grave, kill to refill. It's clean, readable design, and when the friction is gone, the game feels like flight. Reviewers broadly agree on the rush. Impulse Gamer calls out how every movement ability pushes you to go faster, and the game even flexes a speedometer so you can brag about triple-digit runs. They also spotlight the secrets. Each stage hides eyes to collect, feeding unlocks like a personal ghost you can race on replays, plus artifacts that tweak your build. That simple loop, explore, unlock, reroute, keeps you ping-ponging between curiosity and competition, and it's smart. Game Grin hits a similar groove. Controls are easy to learn, hard to master, with a leveling gate that forces you to revisit stages for better times. The rub? On many maps there's effectively one optimal line, so the replay older levels requirement can feel like doing homework when you just want to see the next biome. Cube 3 brings the counterpunch, and speedrunners won't disagree even if they wear it like a badge. This thing is built for resets. Trial and error is the point, not a byproduct. You will face plants. You will restart. Sometimes a missed kill or a dry blood meter will soft your intended line, and you'll slam that restart key out of muscle memory. That's the Covenant. Where Cube 3 is less forgiving is on polish and accessibility. Wall running bleeds speed faster than it should. Aerial control is stingier than a game this fast can afford. And combat feedback sometimes fails to confirm kills mid-sprint. Those nits matter when frames are your currency. Add levels that can run a minute or two when 40-second tracks would amplify the high, and you get a package that loves the already converted more than the curious. Let's talk feel, because that's the real buy no buy. When Bloodthief snaps, it's a movement toy box with the serial numbers filed off. Slides chain into dashes, dashes into slashes, slashes into essence refills that fuel the next burst. You bank speed like it's crypto in 2021 and cash it out on a final gap that should be illegal. It scratches the same itch as a no-fall run in Celeste or a clean district sprint in Mirror's Edge, but it's meaner and more mechanical. You will map every corner, you will memorize which enemy to delete for a refill, and you will route your camera swings so your inputs don't fight your view. That's the point and the pleasure. Now the parts that sand the stone. Tutorials can collide with your line and kill your pace at bad moments. Early medals demand time thresholds that lock a door you can already see through, which is motivating for the goblins among us and deflating for players who just want to progress. The artifact weapons add buffs and playstyle tilts, but they're not flashy enough to feel like new toys. Most runs revert to trusty sword, better line. Combat rarely graduates beyond spam hit with occasional dash kills. It's primarily a movement tax collector, not a system to master. None of that breaks the game, it just narrows who it's for. The secret sauce that keeps you hooked is the game's generosity with discovery. Those eyes tucked behind off-angle jumps. They teach you the geometry you'll use to PB the level later. The ghost races, they whisper, you can be faster. And they're right, and that's dangerous. The sandbox is a love letter to lab rats. It won't feed you artifacts or progression, but it gives you a safe gym for tech without projectiles pinging your face. More admin tools there would be nice, but just having a test bed is the correct call for a movement-first game. Audio check, because it matters at 100 kilometers h. The soundtrack with goth-medieval EDM vibes courtesy of Occam's Laser and Roman Perry on the SFX slaps. It's moody without dragging, hype without shrieking, and it sells the fantasy that you are the blade of the night. Also, props to the visual language. The retro look isn't just a vibe, it's functional. Textures and color blocking nudge your eye toward the route without neon breadcrumbs. When speed is king, clarity is mercy. Where do the sources actually clash? Depth versus breadth. Impulse Gamer crowns it a hidden gem because the movement core carries the whole package: secrets, unlockables, races, the works. Game Green appreciates the flow, but wishes the gating leaned less on reruns or offered more route variety. Cube 3 sees a precision racer that asks too much of non-specialists and gives too little back in mechanical elasticity. All three are right depending on your appetite. Veteran Games take. Bloodthief is excellent at the exact thing it cares about and uninterested in convincing you otherwise. It's not here for cutscenes or elaborate enemy design. It's here to make your hands smarter. If you light up at the idea of grinding a gold time until your thumb develops a sixth sense for momentum, welcome home. If your fun depends on combat depth, narrative juice, or broad accessibility, this will feel like a gated community with a very cool skate park inside. Here's your payoff if you're hovering over the buy button. Do you enjoy crash restarting a track? Because you now know you hit the third slide tighter and carry just enough blood to chain the dash into the kill, into the refill, into the leap. That's the loop. Do you smile at the idea that your first clear medals you dung, and you still feel proud because you learned 3 microtechs you didn't know an hour ago? That's the reward. Do you hate routes that funnel you into the line? Time gates that lock a late map showcase, and movement quirks that occasionally drop your wall run like a bad handshake? That's the tax. If this kind of no BS deep dive is your thing, hitch a ride with Veteran Game and hit subscribe. If you're nodding or fuming, toss a like so this take survives the algorithm, and post your best PB and favorite tech in the comments. Final word. Bloodthief is a killer movement module wrapped in a Spartan package. For speed fiends, it's a feast. For everyone else, it's an honest, fast, slightly unforgiving test of whether the chase is enough. So are you here to go fast, or are you here to feel deep? Pick a lane and floor it.